Moving over to the NBA side of things, during a preseason game between the Spurs and the OKC Thunder, right before the game, Chris Paul and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander met up. And I just want to kind of use it to highlight the impact of Chris Paul, whether that's, currently as a veteran and, just teaching the young guys, or what he could even do in the future as a coach. I think Chris Paul would be a very good coach, and there's a reason his name is brought up in conversations about players that could be a coach. So these two guys, their paths overlapped in OKC a few years back. And that they had a great 3-guard lineup. It was Chris Paul, SGA, and Dennis Schroeder. And those three on the court together, I believe that lineup, along with the other two to round out the starting 5, I believe that had the highest net rating in the league. And that was because all three of these guys, not only were they very, very good offensive players, but they could hold their own on defense as well. And that's especially notable for Chris Paul and Dennis Schroeder because they're on the smaller end. They're 6 foot, 6'1". And those guys typically you don't expect to be the best defenders, but they are really good defenders. Dennis Schroeder is a really underrated defender in this league, and Chris Paul has obviously been an elite defender at the point guard position for so long. But just Chris Paul, besides the on the court play, and I love that big 3 guards they had over there. Chris Paul is just a great floor raiser. He can take a team, and he hasn't won a championship. I can't necessarily say ceiling raiser, but he can take a middling team and turn them into the number 1 seed in the conference. We saw it with the Phoenix Suns as well. And just the knowledge that he's able to pass on with his veteran presence to a guy like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, that's invaluable, and that is just an intangible. It's a big piece in adding a guy like Chris Paul to your team. At this point in his career, you don't do it because of the player that you're getting. You do it because of what he can do to develop your young guys. So I think he's going to do that for his first this season as well. But, just him meeting with SGA before the game kind of made me want to go over that and talk about how, he's just a really good veteran presence to have at this point in his career, as a super solid, steady point guard who can defend as well. He can teach the young guys a lot. And I think and he has a good future as a coach. I would love to see Chris Paul as a coach, especially, a head coach, kind of helping some middling franchise raise the floor of that like he did back when he was playing. And, I think he could be a championship head coach, even if he never won a ring as a player, just because of the fact that he is able and willing, to share his knowledge of the game. I think Chris Paul has a very bright future as a head coach, and I think he is a super valuable veteran presence, and he's just done wonders for so many guys around the league, SGA included.